Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here. So good to see you. Well, hello, Sheila. She says hello to Piper and Lily Cat and to me. And she says, I hope you are all doing well. We are all doing well. We thought it would be a little bit warmer today. We were hoping, but we're having some unpleasant weather. But you know what? We're grateful for the rain because the farmers need it to grow their crops and we need it to grow our flowers. So we just hope everyone stays safe in the wind. This is the Friday that we see Sheila sends us a heart and a kitty and a doggy. Well, thank you. And there is our Piper back there. She is waking up and I don't know, she's going to, sometimes she wakes up and wants to just go sit on the floor where it's cooler. Hello, Juliet. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's so good to see all of you who can come live. And those of you who are unable to come live, thank you for viewing this video. We're going to get right to the predictions here. But I do want to tell those of you who are new to my weekly videos that you're welcome to send in questions. You can put them in the comments below. I do ask that your personal questions you hold for a private session with me. So these are questions that are interest to our whole audience. And you can go back over the last couple of years and look at some of those videos or just at the titles even, and you can understand what we're talking about here. Sheila says, Piper with her 3.5 beds. Yes, Sheila. What she's talking about is pretty much every week. I think we've got about 20 stories out, and I put them on Facebook. But they're on my blog, so you can go and read all of them. Just go to my website, www.dianarankin.com, click on blog, and put in Piper's name, and you'll get about 20 stories coming up. And Piper has 3.5 beds, and this is her office bed. I know you meant Piper. Yeah, Sheila said spelled Piper differently and came back and corrected it. We all do those typos, don't we? Hello, Johanna. She says, hello, Diana. Glad I made it live. Well, we're really glad you could join us too. And Judith says, hi, Diana. Judith, so good to see you. I love it when you're able to come live. That really holds the energy. And I got to tell you, this month, for some reason, was extra hard for me. And maybe, I don't know why. Normally, I try to write out what Phillip says, either like Wednesday or Thursday. Last night, when I went to sleep, I said, Phillip, fill me with your information tonight because I don't know if I'm going to get it tomorrow. And I was awake most of the night. Off and on, I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up with, oh, okay, this is what's happening in China and Taiwan. And like, okay. And just an exhausting night, actually. But I finally wrote out what Phillip says. When you and I are talking in a private session, I don't write out Phillip's notes because that's so much easier for me just to tell you what Phillip is saying. When we're doing this and talking about the world and what's happening in the world, that is so much harder for me because I have to get the world energy and try to condense it down into, just a few sentences or a few paragraphs, I should say. So anyway, we do have that. And yesterday in the US, late afternoon, was it? No, it might have, I'm not sure when it was announced yesterday, but on March 30th, it was announced that the former US president, Donald Trump, has been indicted on 34 counts. And if I'm saying that incorrectly, attorneys, correct me, help me out here, or forgive me, but on 34 counts by New York. And he's from New York. Well, I mean, he lived there for years, so New Yorkers know this man. So that may have been part of what kept me awake as well. We will also get a message from one of my books. It's the Master's Book of Answers by Phillip. And as those of you who are familiar with me know, it's a book of oracle. Just every page has a different wisdom on it. And yes, this is available on Amazon, or just go to my website and that'll click you right on the Amazon site. Judith says it was about 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you, Judith. I was thinking it was in the afternoon, but I really couldn't remember. It seemed like eons ago, and that it just happened. So appreciate that, Judith. Thank you. That is dividing the country in somewhat. And Phillip talks about what's going on here. But I just want to put my 2 cents in. One party, the Republicans, are saying, without knowing what the 34 indictments are, they're saying, no, it can't be. And the Democrats are basically saying, listen, he'll have a right to defend himself. Let it go to a court of law. It won't happen this month, but that's what's happening in the country where I live. Okay, here's what we go. These are Phillip's predictions for April. For those who are sensitive, you will feel the earth quaking beneath the surface. For those who lack empathy or sensitivity, you will bring forth the earthquakes. Whoa. This is a decisive month. It is a month to decide if you wish to quiet the earth's rumbles or to bring forth the quaking. This is not to say anger is to be pushed beneath the consciousness of the human mind. It is to say human emotions will cause earthquakes of destruction this month unless enough people counter the anger with loving emotions and actions. Loving emotions will allow the rumbles to stay beneath Earth's surface without damage. Angry, fearful emotions will bring forth earthquakes and destructive storms. And he's talking about, whatever side of the whatever country you're in, whatever side of the political arena, whatever's going on in your life, this is a month to not get caught in the anger, because that will bring on destructive storms. Which comes forth this month is entirely dependent upon the strongest of emotions. It is a time of flexibility and a time of decisions. The stars are aligning in ancient patterns to bring forth an era of peace, although this month that will be felt only by a few. Most will experience a month of stress and turmoil with a sense of impatient waiting. Instability reigns in many areas of the world. This includes the Middle East, especially Jerusalem. Russia will be hard hit by Ukraine. The U.S. will continue to see turmoil. Not even Canada is immune. China will continue to overcome Taiwan, but not overtake. Panama must be aware of a possible explosion. Alertness of ships and warehouses will avert the situation and save lives. I'm not sure that's the correct use of avert. I don't know why that word was used here, but that's what came out. As the seasons change from fall to winter and winter to spring, weather around the planet will show its strength. Winds will be strong. This is a time to deepen self-love so that appreciation of leaves that brown and fall, or leaves that green and grow, may be felt as well as seen. This is a month of self-love. So the strength is there for what is to come. Don't like that one, but a month of self-love. So the strength is there for what is to come. There will be quiet in the South Seas on the islands, although the seas will bring forth large waves. It is advisable to avoid the tides if going into the oceans. This is true of all seacoasts, including those in the southern areas of the U.S. When Phillip is talking about the tides here, when I lived in California, we would talk about the high tides and the low tides, and emotions would be dependent in many times on those high tides or low tides. So I think that's what he's referring to, especially the high tides. Stay out of the ocean at the high tides. I don't know any more than that, or any more than you do, but I think that's what he's saying. Sometimes we have to work to interpret it, don't we? The U.S. has seen the indictment of its former president. This has allowed others to know what New Yorkers knew before. The trial will not take place this month. This month we'll see much boo-ha-ha and loud voices. There will be a flurry of information followed by a period of no information, followed by what is called a bombshell. So a lot of information will come out up front, then we won't hear anything, and then we'll get something that will go, wow. As information is opened, and we're still talking here about Trump. As information is opened, the man's followers will diminish but not disappear. Georgia will also file charges between now and June, and we're talking about the state of Georgia in the U.S. A third state will also come forth as a surprise. Federal charges are still looming. We're not getting a date on those. But I feel it will be probably early summer, but Phillip isn't saying that. That's just kind of what I'm feeling. So we go on. Trump will not go to prison, but will spend time in confinement. Now we're going on away from Trump. An unknown young male will come forth on the national stage. Whispers of him will begin as early as this month. He will be a contender for the Democratic ticket for 2024, but may choose to run only if the current president does not. That's interesting. I have no idea who we're talking about there. We'll find out, won't we? Many in the U.S. Congress will not carry their fear of the times well. Expect a lot of yelling without any substance. The world will be watching the U.S. this month, but may not see much other than the rumbles of an oncoming explosion. It is a month to remember you are both human and spirit. As spirit, you are the power of love. As human, you must choose what you wish to experience and what you wish for the world to experience. If you are to speak out, do so. If you are to be quiet, be quiet. It is a month to learn your role in this human life and to partake of all life, all that life gives to you. This is a month emotions will be strong, meditations meaningful, and leaps made. The leaps you make will depend on the choices you make. Choose wisely. This is a month emotions will be strong, meditations meaningful, and leaps made. The leaps you make will depend on the choices you make. Choose wisely. I'm hearing right, but a strong left right behind it. If you heard right, our intuition's in sync. If you heard left, that's a message you really need to pay attention to. So here's what we hear on the right. This is page 57. When you are frantic in your search, it may be because you are afraid to find that which you seek. When you are frantic in your search, it may be because you are afraid to find that which you seek. I want to take a moment here before we go to the left and just say hello to everybody. Judy says, sending hearts, sending lots of love from Judy. Awakening with Susan says, just joining. I used to have ads on this channel. Then I went back and they're so intrusive. So I took all the ads off. They did bring in a little money, but you know what? It wasn't worth it. So hopefully you can, if you have to go back, if you weren't live, and you won't have to sit through any ads. They were all skippable ads, but they're still intrusive. So I just took them off. So our soul message, and Judy says, that's a lot of information, Phillip. I'm going to have to listen to this one more than once. I go back and reread them because I've written them down. And sometimes I go back and listen. But it's easier for me to see the print than auditory. That's just the kind of learner I am. And I like to listen to other people's podcasts or YouTubes. I don't like to see myself on camera. That's hard for me. So I think that's true of many. So I go back and reread them because, yes, you're right. There's a lot of, Phillip fills us with so much information each month, and some of it we have to work at interpreting. So here's our message, our soul message for the week, or the month, actually. Thank you. When you are frantic in your search, it may be because you are afraid to find that which you seek. If you heard left, this is a message you need to pay attention to. And I think this is also an important message for all of us as I look at it. You have only this moment. Yesterday was, tomorrow is yet to be, today is as you choose it to be. Yesterday, you have only this moment. Yesterday was, tomorrow is yet to be, today is as you choose it to be. And that's page 56. It does go by quickly, let me tell you, very quickly. Anyway, from Piper and Lily, who's asleep on her cat tree in the bedroom, and all of us here on this sacred land where we live, we thank you for being with us today. We thank you for the love that you send to us, and we thank you for the love that you receive from us. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, all who have joined us. Sheila and Juliet and Johanna. Susan sends lots of hearts. Judith sends lots of hearts. Thank you all. Sending love to all. Yes, this sounds like this is a month that's so important that we send that love to all. So fill your hearts and send it out to the world. Thank you. I love you. See you next week. Bye for now.